Back at the MobilityWOD project with Kelly and Yami. We're at the Danish Military Academy. Oh, hey, who's that? This is our guest officer in the Danish military class. Oh, he makes the pace. He's running the course. He was showing us an obstacle that we just did. This is the Navy pentathlon obstacle course, and then the rest of us here is, or the rest of the course is the half K NATO military obstacle course. Yami and I grazed it in under 17 minutes. No, I think we did it. We didn't do all the sketchy stuff, but we did it in under 29 minutes with a beer in our hand, a Danish beer. Good time today. We want to show you a couple obstacles that can show your capacity and improve your ability to throw a rock at a drunk when you're drunk, or if you have to spin around very quickly in a submarine, how to throw a rock through a doorway, or not a rock, but a grenade. So here's this. We're going to show you this. This is one of our favorites. It turns out if you're not a strong dancer, all right, 3, 2, 1, go! He's at 1 minute. Oh, hook the leg, hook the leg. Bad technique, so slow. And then you see the submarine door. Oh, he's through. He's a little bit dizzy. He's got to get one rock through. No go. First grenade bounces back and kills him. Runs through the door. Shuts the submarine door, locks the grenade, now blows up. So there you go. One of the many obstacles. We're going to do a special Danish military MobilityWOD today, and we're going to show you, we're going to go over one of the obstacles over here. Interesting, and this obstacle, you run up, you just come over the ladder, you've got to get tall, you've got to touch the middle of the obstacle, and then come right back up and jump over. But since in the spirit of hip mobility today, to be able to get over these things, the very first thing we're going to do is, come on, join us, come on. Let's look at your hip mobility. Yeah. We're just going to throw the leg up on any high surface. Oh, how's that feel? Klaus just went to the level 1 yesterday. He's now a certified Danish military badass, because he wasn't obviously a Danish military badass before. But now, you see, even being able to get over, we're just going to spend some time and just grind through the hip. So try to see if we can get the hip out over the ankle. And you can find that his ankle's collapsing. We were just discussing how you can use mobility or use CrossFit to find holes in your soldiers. It works. If you need to come up, you can actually even support yourself on the other leg, right? Can you get the foot flat? And then just absolutely come up on the leg here. There you go. And then, yep, just even if you're just up on the toe, and then I'm just going to grind through. So let's find a very high surface for you today. 1 minute of working in this big flexion with the other leg down. You won't feel overextended, and just hang out and grind through those bits of the hip capsule. You can see how imagine actually doing this before having to run the course might actually improve your time. Yeah. Right? Sometimes what we find is that in sport that requires a lot of hip mobility, sometimes it appears that you're jumping very high, but all you're doing is being able to relatively lift the leg high into the hip. So we're going to just grind back and forth here for a second, and then let the leg fall out, and then just onto the side a little bit, and then go ahead and oscillate back and forth a little bit in the hip. So really now we're just biasing more, a little bit of the external rotation. If you need to shake it out, come back in, that's okay. So let's go ahead and high mobility hip. That'll be hip number 1. Spend another minute over here on the side, and then since you're already up here, let's flip the other leg up. Since you're already up here, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the back leg in and see if we can stretch and catch the bottom leg. So just opening up the hip forward on the bottom side, and if that's too high, you could even turn the hip in a little bit and just hook the leg. And you can see that we're just trying to open up the inside groin here. So I internally rotate the leg. We find that most athletes are missing an internal rotation and extension, and then press that hip into the pull there. You feel that, business? Can you squeeze your butt cheek? There you go. That's a Danish military officer butt cheek squeeze. That's technical here at the NATO course. But being able, what you'll find is that when you're open in this hip, maximally, you actually have a difficult time recruiting the butt, and that's one of the ways we see that the back becomes unstable in extension, because the butt is positionally inhibited. So if we can get the hip a little bit more open, we can squeeze the butt and practice integrating the two so that I have a supported joint co-contracted on both sides of the joint. All right, so those are the first 2 hip openers we're going to do, and then we're going to walk over today. Sink stretch, but if you can find something to play, come on over here. You can find something to play with. Normally we grab in this kind of externally rotated position, but we want to see what happens if we internally rotate you a little bit. So if you grab underhand and open up, Does that change a little bit? So we're always worried about external rotation and flexion and being able to internally rotate in extension, because we see that athletes in extension on the rings are missing this internal rotation. So if we grab underhand and open up, we can really capture some of those pieces of the capsule. And so now we're internally rotating in extension and then trying to keep that rib tight and down, and then see how broken you are through the chest here?
Yeah.
See if you can pull that rib cage in and down, which improves that relative side. Excellent. Belly tight hang, and then you can contract, relax here. See how that face you're making? That shows weakness. Don't make that face. It's a smiling Zen face, right? It's a California, bro.
Pain is weakness leaving the body.
Yeah, I think in Finnish you say something like, I'm not sweating, it's my body crying. Right? Isn't that true? We're forging elite Finnish here, and Danish. Forging elite Danish. There you go. Thumbs up. So we'll hang out here. And then last one is we'll come back over to the pole. And if you don't have a band, you always can wind up, thinking about what piece allows you to hit this lat, capture, press into the corner, and see if you can tie the butt into the corner of that lat. So any pull allows you pressing, try to get that arm overhead. That would be a sick position. And then I'm just going to press into that corner here and hang out and be able to tie my lat into those pieces. And you'll see that if you externally rotate, it feels very different. So change those hand positions and see what feels like it's going to wind up most for you here. All right? So that will be the 4 pieces today. And we're going to walk you over and show you to the pit of despair in a second. So we'll see you in a second.